Welcome
Welcome
to
to
Shade
Shade
and the
in the
City.
City.
I am your girl, Treese.
It snows.
And today we are getting into our review of Ready to Love, Season 7, Episode 7, Queens Don't Chase. You're damn right, because we are the prize, okay? So if you have not already, Shade Squad, please make sure that you hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
And y'all, welcome back, our girl. Keep praying for her, though, and wishing her a speedy recovery. Anyway, y'all, let's get into it because there's a lot to unpack, and let's get shady. Oh, by the way, it's Pisces season. So we're going to pick up where we left off. Tommie gets in the middle of the back and forth between Sue-Ann and Jeffrey that they got going on. They part ways, and he's like, y'all need to go sit down and talk. I'm going to let y'all do y'all because, this is going to be someone's last supper. Is what
I thought it was pretty hilarious that Jeffrey was basically like, she needs to focus on her romantic connections and get out of this client attorney connection that she has going on with Blake. I said, oh, I know is Morgan was here for all of it.
Okay.
She was entertained.
Right. And so then Blake tells Sue-Ann he's so proud of how she handled herself with Jeffrey. Yes, my notes literally say eye roll. And Andre is happy to be back. Cynthia's all smiles, of course. And, he starts making his rounds around the room and he stops to sit down with Jeffrey and she's low key embarrassed and, just hopes that he thinks she handled herself well. I don't know. I didn't really understand this energy because I was like, that's not what you was just giving on the couch. I just need you to stand in your like I said what I said, but I guess some men may find that unattractive, so I get it. She wants to, still appear ladylike and demure, So
apparently it works. It's working for her.
I ain't mad at it. So Andre says that he and Jeffrey have maintained their connection while he was gone because they have a soul connection. It's deep within the soul. And meanwhile, Morgan is giving Anthony the business. Not only Morgan, but Marcia.
Wait, let's not forget about Jonique. She was over there trying to get Tony a little twisted so he could be streaking. Apparently, he get a little crazy off some shots, and she was like, you already told me how you get, so let's get them shots flowing.
How do we get, Tony?
Right? He said he be streaking. He was like, you don't want to see that? She was like, Like, don't tell me what I want to see.
Okay, Jonique.
Hey, Jonique.
As I was saying, Morgan cannot wait to go at Anthony's neck. And she tells him she wants to feel pursued because queens don't chase. And she tells him that he can't be on the phone with her and then see her in person and then he ain't got nothing to say.
Period.
I was like, that's true. And so she lets him know he needs to nurture his connections or a woman will feel neglected. And both her and Marcia agree he ain't getting it. He ain't getting it.
He was just in there kind of looking dumbfounded. He really wasn't getting it.
Right.
He wasn't picking up what they was putting down.
And then Marcia chimes in that it's giving, he likes, what is it, the lowest hanging fruit. He wants what's easy to obtain versus trying to get to the top. I said, well, go ahead, girl, break that down. So it can officially and forever be broke. Because that's what you did.
We also saw Jonique sitting down with Lyndon, and she starts having a conversation about how, some people are making connections with people where it's not being reciprocated. I think she was trying to throw some shots because he was like, yeah, because, I thought I had a connection with Mercedes, but I kind of got friend zoned.
Right.
But apparently, she feeling she feeling Lindy, but I thought it was hilarious. She over there, look, yeah, boo. Jonique is feeling you. Then Andre pulled Mercedes to the side to let her know, you know, that she was his top connection, and he felt some type of way that she ain't never pull up, she ain't never call, she ain't never, send a message in a bottle like, "Hey, how you doing? What's up?"
Right.
And, you know, she does say that they did have a deep connection, but she decided to just go with her other connections that were in the process and pursue those and move forward.
Right.
And she tells him basically, she kind of felt like out of sight, out of mind. She had a lot of
He's
stuff
like,
going
that's
on.
messed up. That goes to show a lot about who you really are.
She said she had a lot of stuff going on, and it wasn't her first priority.
Mm. And please forget my camera shade squad is, like I said, y'all can donate to the Cash App, and it's Pisces season. I'm just saying. Anyway, but yeah, no, he was in his feelings. He was like, yeah, Mercedes, basically he expected more from her. And I guess maybe he thought they had a deeper
Connection was deeper than it was.
right.
Apparently not. It was not reciprocated. Here we go. That's what Jonique was talking about. Morgan tells Tony, he's reminding her of Anthony with the type of guy that, works the room. And he's like, hold up. That man ain't got nothing on me.
Okay.
Don't compare me to that man, okay? And tells him he need to stop doing too much. He being too friendly. I feel you, Morgan. He's talking about he just being normal. She's like, oh, okay, your normal is being flirtatious and you gonna make me hurt you.
Mm.
And she lets him know, look, don't be and apparently, I don't know, he said something about licking his lips for some other women or something like that. She's like, you don't lick your lips for nobody else but for me.
Yeah, in this
He is too
moment, I
friendly.
definitely thought about Nels. I'm sure we've heard her say many times she does not like friendly ninjas. So this really resonated. I said, I know someone like this. It was like,
Literally, when I watched it, I said, okay, Morgan.
and I definitely get what she's saying. The energy that he gives off, and because he is so nice, women can read that wrong. And
Yeah, and you have other people thinking that they're your
they can
number one
shoot their
choice as
shot.
well, and that's a
Right.
problem.
But all I can say is they clearly have a physical chemistry. So I do give them that. Oh, really? I put up the frame to avoid that, guys. And this is what we're getting. It's just
And nephew Tommie, he walks back in. He lets them know that it's time for one man and one woman to go. Tommie calls the guys and the ladies to deliberate separately. Cynthia and Jeffrey say that Andre is back on top. That is numero uno, like he never left. Okay. Look, Cynthia
they
said ain't
really
nobody
feeling
took
it
that.
for Andre.
Cynthia said ain't nobody took that top spot. Okay, so place my man back where he
What
belongs.
happened? What happened to Anthony?
But you heard what she said. She said what she said.
Okay.
Now, but the problem is, okay, now Andre didn't mention Cynthia. Okay. He says his top connection is Jeffrey. She's like a saint. Okay. The bar is raised. Blue
Whew.
says Jeffrey and Marcia for him. Jeffrey's always checking on him because he work at night, and he loved that. And May says Jeffrey is very soft. She has a feminine demeanor that he likes about her. I told you it's working for her. Whatever she doing, it's working. Okay. Mercedes says her top connection is in May. And, the feeling is reciprocated. He says he like her as well. Anthony says Cynthia and Mercedes. Blake says his A1 day one is Advocate Sue. And of course, she says the same. Morgan and Marcia say Tony is their top pick, of course, because he ain't making Marcia feel any less than Morgan.
Right. But then I said, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. What you want to say?
No, because maybe you're getting ready to say what, and then I'll question it.
I wasn't.
Oh, I'm upset that every time we've seen Tony, meet with Jonique, she always climbs her way back to the top. And then here we are when he gets in the men's lounge, it's always Morgan and Marcia. I've noticed that.
Mm.
I'm like, why is it one way and then when it switches when it get anyway? But yeah.
And she has a point because Jonique says Lyndon and Tony. Tony
Right.
is a top pick for her, but it's not the same. Tony says that he likes Marcia. She's right under Morgan. And he said he had a date with Morgan in the sunset upon the water. And it was everything. Sir.
It's definitely giving love bombing.
It was giving me BS.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna romance you and make you fall and then have you going crazy.
But he told that to nephew Tommie. So Lyndon said when he went on his date with Morgan, the sun didn't set with a bunch of kisses and stuff.
Right.
But they get along. And she's his piece. Okay, Morgan, be that man's piece.
Can I be honest? I don't really see a connection there.
There's a lot of things that we don't see on this episode, on this season. So who knows? Who knows?
I just it gives me more friendly, like they could be cool. They might.
I think so as well. But like I don't know. This season is totally different than all the others. There's a lot of things I feel like we may not be seeing.
Facts.
Now Tony in the confessional says that he feels bad for the guy because there's no way Morgan would be with him while he's still there in the mix. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not attracted at all to Tony.
I love that.
But that little cockiness right there, yeah, that's sexy. Now the least connections were Blake, M.A., and Anthony. Sue-Ann, Jeffrey, Morgan, Mercedes, and Jonique. I mean, he calls Anthony and Mark Anthony. And Blake is excited that, look, he ain't on the chopping block for once in his life. Now, both of the guys are safe because
and he should have been.
Yeah, as per usual. Advocate Sue is saving the day. Now both of the men are safe because the ladies decided to use the second chance lifeline on Mark Anthony and give him another chance. So Anthony and Mark Anthony are good to go. Then Tommie calls Jonique and Sue-Ann down. And unfortunately, Jonique was sent home. Now Tommie
Which don't make no damn sense.
It really did because she did have some connections. Now Tommie tells them that the training wheels are now off from this point, and there will be no more second chances after tonight. Tonight was the last night to use it. And people were upset. I think I would have been upset too. I would have been like, damn, I've been saving it to the end. Why you ain't give us a heads up, Tommie?
Right.
That's messed up, But he tells them that there'll be no elimination this week. Just work on your connections.
Let me just drop a little tea for you guys. If you have not already, Shade Squad, please make sure that you hit that like button.
And that subscribe button.
Terrible. Eating on the job. Anyway, so what I actually did find out over the weekend, Jonique did do an interview with, I believe her name is Crystal XO, and she actually let us know that she was not supposed to be the one that was eliminated. The reason why everybody, and we'll get into it later into the episode, but the reason why everybody is so angry and pissed off with Blake is because apparently Sue-Ann was in the bottom for all of the men, which we did see them say the only one that really did big her up was Blake. And yeah, Blake basically gave him an ultimatum and said that if they send Sue-Ann home, then he was going home. And we all know Blake is great for TV. So Jonique went home for editing and production purposes. Allegedly. Which I actually was having a sidebar with somebody, and I was telling them if that's really the case, I might have to stop reviewing this show. Like, because that's crazy. Like, what are we doing this for now? like, I don't review Survivor
We
for a reason.
we we realized a long time ago, since they left what, Texas, it's for ratings.
It's insane. I'm like, okay, you're gonna get some drama, some natural things. Like, I get it. But when you're out here keeping somebody that he's in everybody's bottom, she's in everybody's bottom, but it's good for TV. That's insane to me. So shout out to our girl Jonique. But yeah, she ended up going home, and that's fine because she did me some. If y'all follow her on Instagram, she be posting on her stories. She had her a nice little Valentine's Day day. She was having a good old time. So go ahead, girl. I'm happy you found somebody. Congratulations. They just wasn't on this shit. Sue Ann.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes to Anthony's house. She said Anthony should be worried because their connection is hanging by a thread. He invites her over for dinner. So Sue Ann questions whether she's
Did you
on.
notice he put her to work?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Ain't no free meals.
Remind me of somebody else.
Right. Uh, Sue Ann questions whether she's on his list of potential candidates, and he realizes that she came over there with the intention to find out where she stands, as she should. And he does, because she don't really stand nowhere. Let's just be honest, but whatever. He does tell her that she is on his list. And Sue Ann says there's a lot of awesome women there, and he tells her, but some stand out more than others. And then there's an awkward silence.
But so she kind of felt like he missed the mark on that, but I thought he was talking about her.
That could have, but it went over her head.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Because my thing is, why else would I invite you over here if you don't stand out more than whatever?
Yeah. So Sue Ann says she's not feeling the sexual or physical chemistry, and really hasn't since the Hard Rock. So he promises her that they'll dance before she leaves, and she feels like he redeemed himself. They started off rocky. They were kind of good in the middle, and then they ended it with the dance and ended it on a high note. And I was like, okay, girl.
Then Mark Anthony invited Jeffrey out. Jeffrey tells him that she wants to be open with him and said she doesn't want someone to be able to use this against him, and she wants them to remain strong and undefeated. And he says he doesn't want her to play strong with him. He likes her soft side.
Mm. They'll say it's working for living in that feminine energy.
Mm-hmm. And he said, I feel like I have to be the strong one so you can be soft. Let me tell you something.
You know what it is? I guess because they kind of try to make him feel like maybe you a little too young acting or whatever. He gives off, because most of the ladies are a little bit older. So I think now he coming out there to show you, look, I can talk the talk. Okay, y'all better stop playing with me. I can finesse the hell out you.
Let me tell you something. If hers ain't get mine did for you, okay, boo?
For Mark Anthony.
No, it was the words, honey. It was the words.
Touch my frame. I'm just saying.
You're so stupid. So let me tell you something. After this boy said this woman is seeing this man in a whole different light. Okay. But she lets him know that she has Crohn's disease.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he seemed concerned and worried and scared. But in the confessional, he
admits he don't know what the hell it is.
don't know what the hell that is.
But he still showed really good concern. Like
he did. And lucky for him, she explains what it is. And she explained that the biggest thing was extreme fatigue, abdominal pain, because it's inflammation of your insides. And she also explains that she comes off so positive because stress can trigger it.
Mm.
So it may ask how her kids react to it. And she says, they're understanding, and they just love on her. And she says this date just helps her realize how serious this man is about her.
It was very sweet.
It
Mercedes invites MA out, and he says, although he has a deep connection with Jeffrey, he's looking forward to this date with her. So she asked him, what brought up his interest in the flight school, which I thought this was really cute that they
Yeah,
have.
because that's the only thing that they have in common.
Peter. Anyway, he explains he always saw white men in the cockpit and learning, he just needed to take the necessary courses and training. He decided it was something he wanted to do, even if it's just for like leisure purposes. And so Mercedes actually shares with us that she also has a desire to learn to fly as well, which I thought was really dope. And says, as they're sharing lots of laughs, they're doing a lot of touching. It's a lot of
They started having a conversation about not being able to wink.
Nels is
It
not.
was super childish. I didn't see I don't feel like they got a deeper connection from this date. What did they learn about each other? Stuff that they already knew. Oh, and the fact that she can't wink.
Somebody is not here for this connection.
I didn't feel like it was a connection. I felt like to me, that was some buddy, like bestie type shit.
Well, MA tells her if she keeps rubbing on him, it's not a genie that's gonna
Oh
pop.
yeah, and sexual innuendos, of course, because he's a
He
dude.
won't be blue.
Yeah, because she'll.
Anyway, she asks him what he likes about her, and he tells her that he enjoys her beautiful smile and the fact that he's always laughing when he's with her, and they kiss. Nels is clearly not here for Mercedes and MA. Shade Squad, drop down in the comments. Let us know what you think. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button.
Moving on to a real connection. So of course, Morgan and Tony go out, because they have an actual connection. And he asked, how she feels about him. And she tells him, you a wild card. Okay. And part of her really likes him, and the other part is terrified.
I feel a girl. I feel you.
She says
you want that problem, but you don't want that problem. Oh, I feel you.
She says she's worried about putting all her eggs in a Tony basket because he might still want to be
bunny, baby.
He might still want to be smooth Tony from up top.
And he is definitely that.
Tony asked her how she feels about the other connections on her. And she said she liked that Linda don't back down from him.
That was really cute. She was like, well, Linda, do not be worried about you.
And your little self, period.
Right.
And Tony tells her that that's not going to end well for Lyndon in the end, though. So I just love how neither one of them is just worried about the other's connection, though. Now, she said, don't you have another connection out there? And he said, I do. Would you like to know about it? She's like, no. She's like, no, I really don't care. So they both agree that they look damn good together. He tells her to keep being her and take what's hers. And Morgan said, that's a done deal, boo. Done that.
Now, Blake.
I already know. I already knew. I already knew.
Has invited Morgan out for coffee after she said he wasn't very kind to her and wants to clear the air. Now, he apologizes for making her feel how she felt, but doesn't know what he did to warrant that emotion. Now, Morgan asks him why the hell he's apologizing if he doesn't know what he did wrong. So he says, because it clearly hurts you. Why? Why did he say that?
I ain't hurt. You could never.
Okay.
You said, I said you were unkind.
Right. And she said, yeah, you don't have the power to hurt me whatsoever. So she tells him that he made her feel a way when she brought up kids, and she didn't like that because she never said she wasn't happy with or without children. He told her 80% of the things that she wants, she won't get out of life. And
if she has a child.
If she has a child. Mm-hmm. And questions, who hurt you, boo?
And then she says it was probably one of them 3 baby mamas, if not all
Right.
3. I said, "Ooh."
And I'm not gonna lie, in Morgan's defense, it is weird to see a man with 3 kids discuss fatherhood or treat it like that. It is kind of sad and unfortunate, and it doesn't make you look like you're ready to love. But yeah, so she asked him about the Jeffrey situation, and he says he felt he needed to dead it because it kept coming up like a cancer. So she tells him she feels that way about him. And he's not a benign cancer, he's malignant. She lets him know she doesn't think he has good intentions and is playing with all the women there. Blake lets her know that her opinion doesn't matter to him. And they both exit. And Morgan says, nice not talking to you, and hopes she doesn't have to do it again. Goddamn. Morgan went out with a bang.
Damn, Morgan. Damn.
I remember after watching it, sending Nels a text, and I said she read him for filth.
Yes.
And that was the episode, y'all. So,
Yeah.
yes, thank you guys. And thank you for dealing with, I don't know what the hell it is, y'all. I'll be honest. But if you
That on her end and
right,
my sickness on my end.
it is on my end. But if you donate to the Cashapp, I'm sure I could figure it out. And Pisces season. So if you have not already, guys, please make sure that you hit that like button.
You comment.
You subscribe.
And you hit the notification bell.
And y'all, please make sure that you're following us on all the platforms. We had a good old time yesterday over on Twitter for Married at First Sight, and we cannot wait to get that review out to you. But yes, follow us on the IG, the TikTok, the Facebook. And yeah, y'all, we appreciate all the love and support. Let's keep glowing. Let's keep growing. And again, it's Pisces season, y'all. Have a good night. We'll catch y'all next week. Bye-bye.